Hi guys, thank you so much for joining this 7 days class. My name is Samuel Linus and I'm super excited to have you here. At Nedi, we are a peer-to-peer edtech platform that allow people to learn in peers, groups, and communities. It simply means that gone are those days when you'll be learning alone and you have questions to ask, but nobody to ask questions. You wish you're a part of a community. You wish you have a mentor. You wish you have a learning mate, somebody you guys can learn and grow with. But unfortunately, you're learning online, so there is no one like that. But with Nedi, you have access to all of those things and even more. When you enroll for our platform, you have access to a one-on-one mentor. You'll be able to schedule a clarity call with your instructor at will. You will also join a support group where you can ask questions at any point in time. You will also be part of a weekly live class where you'll be learning and growing with other people. And guess what? You will also be paired with an accountability partner, somebody that you guys can learn and grow with and also build rapport as you advance in your career. And at the end of the career roadmap, you also get personalized portfolio review and job support. Don't forget to go on our platform and turn on your subscription. It's just a monthly token. That being said, don't forget to also subscribe on this particular YouTube channel so you'll be notified when we upload subsequent lessons, right? So without wasting much of our time, let's get into this particular video.
You're welcome to this video. In this video, we'll be taking a look at color as a UI design principle, right? As a visual designer, both graphic designer, you also want to know the principle behind color. Now, one of the first things that you want to learn about color is what is called the color theory, right? So the color theory is you understanding the color wheel. So I went on Google, I searched for Google color wheel and click on images. Then you see different examples, different images trying to explain this particular color wheel. Now, if you take a look at this RGB image, which simply means our primary color, it simply means that once you add two primary color, you get a secondary color. A red and yellow will give you orange, a blue and red will give you violet, and a yellow and blue will give you green, right? That is correct. Now, without any color, that is black. Then when the colors are full, then that's where you get white. But let's take a look at this particular color wheel here, right? So let me look for the one where the image is kind of brighter. All right, let's use this one. So I'm just going to copy this and go back to my design and paste it. I'll still delete it. Let me just use it to explain what I want to explain. I'll paste it here. All right, so this is it now. So now the hue is also known as the main color itself. So let me click this and just apply a certain color. Let's say this particular color right now. So this is the hue. Then what is then the shade? So the shade is when you add black to the color. So let me take this one. So now how do we add black to this particular color? We move vertically down from this color picker like this. So this now is the shade of this particular hue. So let's bring the same hue again and say let's get the tone. The tone is when you add gray. So gray is like a mixture of black and white, right? So let's try that. So if I move like this, I'm getting what? The shade of this particular color right now. No, the tone, sorry. So this is the shade full black. This one is black and white. So now let's try and get the tint. So the tint of this same color is me getting adding just white to this color. So I will move towards this direction, right? Then this will give me the tint. So now this is basically the same color. Let's bring them together. This is basically the same color. So I'm here getting different variation of the same color, but now with the same color now I've gotten what? The hue, which is the main color, and as well as the shade, which is the black added to the main color, and the tone, which is black and white gray, added to the main color, and the tint, which is white, added to the main color. And as you can see now, this almost looks like a color palette, right? So that is good. So let me delete this. But before I delete this, there's another principle behind color theory, right? Is when you are trying to get probably like a complementary color. So complementary colors are colors that will definitely go together, right? So you could see it here based on shade that complements one another. So another color here is this tragic color, which I will say these are the colors that will go together. Let's take a look at this one. So complementary color, these are the colors that will go together. That means in a color wheel, color opposites each other will definitely go together. Let me copy this image. Go to my design and paste it here. So in a color wheel, they are telling us that if I have my primary color in my color wheel like this, and let me duplicate this. If this one is this color, right, and this particular color here, what we go with this same blue will still be the opposite of this color, but around the same color. Now you notice that this, if this is the primary color, this is like we go coming down, adding some tints to it. So this one will go together. So they are trying to say that this blue and this orange will definitely go together because they're in that same color wheel. So in a color wheel, opposite color will actually complement one another, right? So that's one of the things you want to know about color theories, right? But at the end of the day, you don't really need to bother yourself about color theories, right? What works or what doesn't work when it comes to like color theories. The most important thing that you actually want to know is the fact that the main color, which is this hue color, does not and will not come from you. Now, where will this particular color come from? This color will come from the logo. It will come from the brand. So the brand identity designer is the one that's in charge to determine which color that particular website or mobile app is going to have, right? So it is not the job of the UI designer to determine that, okay, I'm going to use orange, I'm going to use blue, I'm going to use green. So at the end of the day, when people ask me, Samuel, I'm finding it difficult to know which color to use, I always give them this answer that it is not your job to determine the color to use. I'll give you an example. So let's say I'm a UI designer working at Netflix, right? It is not my job to say, okay, I want to change Netflix color from red that it is right now to blue, except if Netflix is trying to do a total brand redesign. And if they're doing a total brand redesign, it's not my job, it's the job of the brand identity designer, right? So at the end of the day, as a UI designer, you get your color from the logo. So let's say I'm also a brand identity designer, I'm working with Facebook. So let me search for Facebook logo. Facebook logo. I'm working with Facebook. I'm a UI designer. I want to design something for them. So it is not my job to say, okay, I want to design something for Facebook and I'm going to use pink. I can't use pink. I will definitely use their blue, right? So this tells you now that, okay, where will I get my color from? My color will be coming from the logo. If I'm designing for WhatsApp, I'll be using green. If I'm designing for YouTube, I'll be using red. And I'm not the one that determines this color, right? It's whosoever designed the brand. So that being said, how can you now use the brand color across your design? Now this leads me to the main discussion of the day. How can we use our main color across our design? Right, so let's take a look at it more clearly. Now this is our design and we want to get our color. So our color is going to come from the logo, right? So now let's assume now that this right here is our primary color that we've gotten from the logo. Let me pick a better shade of this orange. So I want to assume now that, okay, this is the color. Okay, in fact, that is it. So this is the color that is coming from. This is going to be our logo color and everything looks nice, right? Let's assume this is the brand identity color. This is the color of the brand. So now that we have it here, the first thing I want to do as a UI designer, so the first principle, I haven't known the introduction to color, about color theory and the rest, tone, tint, shade, blah, blah. You just want to know that for academics. Now, for in real application, these are the principles that you should observe. Number one, design everything in grayscale. That's the first thing. You want to design everything in grayscale. What do I mean by grayscale? Don't add any color when you're designing initially. If you take a look at this design that we've started in the previous video, there is no single color in this design, right? And the design looks pretty. You can attest to that particular fact. So just for me to make the design a little, to start adding color, I just need to add a touch of my primary color. What do I need to do? The first things first, I will come over here to my component that I did in the previous video. Let me bring this one closer. I would just, in fact, let me save this. I would click on this. I will click on this. I will click on the plus sign here, and I will just give this color a name. So let's call it primary. Let's do something like this: primary /500. So I love to name it in with numbers. Let's say primary /500. So this is our color, primary /500, 500 color. So I'll come over here. I'll click this right now, right? And if I go where I want to add color, this is my primary color here. Oops, wrong color. So this is the color here that I want to give it. Yeah, this is my color here. So the first thing I want to do now is to ensure that my logo is my primary color. So now you could see now I've added that touch of that color. So the next thing again I want to do is my button. So let me assume now that I have this particular button here, and I also want it to be my primary color. So I come over here, I select it too as well, right? So I started adding touch of my primary color there. Now if you take a look at it now, the only thing I did was to add color to my primary color, to the logo of course, and as well as to the buttons, and the design is already popping out, right? So the first rule, design in grayscale. The second principle is ensure that you just have a touch of your primary color across the most important thing in your design. For example, the buttons. For example, the link text. Now, for example, now I will come over here too as well. This particular color here, instead of it to be white, I would want to change it to become what my primary color. So if I change become a primary color, and this is what we use it as request demo, you could see that that has also changed. So by just doing that alone, I have this color coming out really nice that I really love. Now, but another thing again you want to know about color is that color is used to draw what? Emphasis. Color is used to bring what? Emphasis. For example now, if you're taking a look at this particular homepage, now two things will be fighting for your attention. Two things. This button here will be fighting for your attention. This other one here too will also be fighting for your attention. So how do I use my color to say, okay, let me differentiate these two things so that I can create emphasis with my color? Now I want to ensure that I have another button that's going to be grayscale. So I will click on this button here, and I will add another variant. So, but now I will create a new property. Let me come here. Instead of giving another color, this is still going to be solid, of course, right? Type is still going to be solid, but I'm going to create a new property. So for me to create a new property, I will just need to come in. Let me click all of this. I need to create a new property. Click here. I will say a new variant, a new boolean, a new instant swap, a new variant. So a new property. So the property I want to give it now will be color. So let's call this one color. Oops, I don't want it to be default. I won't have given it default, but no problem. Let's click this one now. The color here will be, let's call it primary, right? So this text too, the color too will also be primary as well. Then this one now, I want to change the color to be what? Gray. So let's call it gray. So since it is gray, let's give it full black. So I'm going to detach this and just give it like full black, for example. All right, so that's exactly what I want to do. Then this other one too is a text button. So let's create another one here. So I'm going to give it gray as well. Then I'm going to change this color to full black too as well. So yeah, something like this. So now this is what we have, right? So once I come in here now, I could change it. I could say, okay, instead of my navigation, instead of to have this color here, I want it to be gray. So I would click on these buttons and say, here is the button, color primary, no, color should be gray. This other one, so color primary, no, color should also be gray. So I have that there now. So this is what it now looks like. So now we've been able to successfully change this color at the navigation to become gray, while the one that we have here will also become what's primary. So now at the end of the day, just adding a touch of this particular color, only this color is primary, and because of only this color is primary right now, what happens is now our attention is fixed to this particular button. We can even go as far as also observing the same touch of primary color, not to use it so much, coming down here too as well and say, look, this one I don't want it to be primary, I want it to be gray, and we'll now have something that looks like this. So we'll now have a get started and a request demo, but now the request demo seems to be hiding and does not look like a text and a button, so I prefer it to actually be that particular primary. So like this looks way better. As you can see, it's just a touch of what our primary color. Now let's go ahead. So the next thing I want to do, and that principle again is the principle of what? Image selection. So when you want to select image, you want to select an image that has what? A touch of your primary color. So two things now. So the first principle that we did is ensure that you design everything in grayscale. That's number one. Number two, just have a touch of your primary color probably around your button and around your link or your button text. That's two. Number three, image selection, ensure that your image has a touch of your primary color. So don't just go out there and pick any image that you like. No, let that image has a touch of your primary color. So I will come over here and I will try to select an image. I'll say place image. This stuff will open. So I already have an image selected. So I select this particular image because I know I'm going to use this particular color. So as you can see, this image on its own has a touch of what? My primary color. So I'm going to use this image right now. So let me close this. I'll pick this image. So I'll pick it and I'll just place it inside here. So now everything looks cool, right? If it saves, this stuff will come up. So if it saves now, it will come up. You could see now that this orange color like that I'm using is already popping out. Why is it popping out? And the image doesn't look out of place. It doesn't look out of place because I ensured that this image has a touch of my primary color. Now, if this a model here is wearing a blue jacket, it will not really flow with the design, right? So, but now that we have this model that is wearing similar color with the primary color, it's now flowing with the design. So let's go ahead and even make our design more beautiful. So how do we do that? Let's try and design some of this pop out here to be what I actually have in mind. So what I have in mind for that is let's see. Okay, that's a rectangle. So I would actually want to probably bring a card. So let me place an image here. Let me just complete that particular design. I would let's bring this one together to open. I'll paste it here. So this is it. So we have this simple MasterCard logo here. So let me zoom in and have that design. So I'll click on my text tool. I will add let us type card feature. So you know this stuff is plug and play. Card feature added. All right, this looks cool. 16. Okay, not bad. You just put it there. I think it just works fine. Select both of them together. Add auto layout as usual. Add a fill. So let's ensure that the text is grayscale text. F5 F5. That looks fine. And probably add something. Let's say like 12. And also 12 here, and let's add some border radius of just something like 8 or so with serve, or even 12 too can also serve. Let's see, that's cool. 12 is cool. So let's just call this particular one let's just call this one card pop-up, right? Card notification. All right, something like this looks cool. Then I will just take this now and I would give it our effect that we created in the previous video, this element elevation. So let me just Control X it because this is where I will need it. So I will need it here where we have all of this here, this particular one. So okay, I guess that is it. So let me just paste it, Control V here, and it's going to replace this one. So I will just adjust it to that part. Oops, that's too much. So I just want to ensure that they are in the same position. I'll select them together. Okay, something like this works. So I can now delete this. All right. So let's see. So we have that there as probably like a pop-up notification. It actually even looks too big. So let me reduce the text. Let me reduce this thing here. I think I would prefer to reduce that. So let's see how that goes. So because I did that, it's affecting this stuff. So if we don't want it to affect it, we can actually just easily stretch this to ensure that it's always like that. So even if we reduce this stuff, it's not really affect it. All right. So I think I have a very good elevation there. So so let's ensure it's stopping there. So let's see what we have. So this looks cool. This looks cool, right? But I would want this stuff to be a little bit darker. So let me break this. I would actually want it to be a little bit darker so that I will be able to see the shadow. It looks like the shadow is hiding. So See, full black, it's not even doing anything. I guess it's our transparency. All right. Let's reduce this from, instead of 40, let's give it like 30 and see. Give this to like 32 as well. Okay. It's too far. Let's be like 20. 20 will be closer. Give this one like 40. All right. This one I'll give it like minus 20. All right, this cool. Let's take it back to 25. So I'm just playing with the shadow there, just to ensure that we have. So this looks better. This looks better. So this looks better. But this one now we have our elevation. This looks better. So I want that one to be a little bit thicker so that that white stuff would be able to show there. So it looks good overall. It looks good to me. So we have that card notification right there. So the next thing that we could do now is try and see if we could have some other two notification right here. So let's quickly design that one. So it will just pop out. So for us to design that one, let me draw something like this. So I'm just creating a sample notification. Let's say 40, for example. Make it rounded. Rounded edge, so it looks like a circular stuff. Almost want to give it red, but not like full red per se, but something like this. Okay, no, let's give it green. Let's give it green. So let's ensure that it's not like this looks fine. So let's look for an arrow. Let's search for our plugin. We've been using this plugin called Iconly. So we could use any plugin of choice. So I will actually want something like this that faces downward, right? To show if it's coming down, it should be it should show. Okay, but we've been using outline icons, so let's use our broken icons just to maintain that. So let's see what we have here. So let's use something like this. This works. So yep. So that one works. So we could go ahead, log the constraint proportion, make it 24, make it variance as usual. Oops. And basically just drag it to this point. So let's add it as part of our stuff here. So the reason why I'm adding it there, so it will be easy for us to always go to assets under icon to see it there. So we can just bring it here now. So now that we have it here, we can easily just look for a green color to add it. Okay, this looks cool. So now this looks more like money is coming in, right? So let's type in a text here and payments received. So let's type in something like that. Payments received. All right, that looks cool. And let's duplicate it. Medium, yeah, medium works. Duplicate it. Make this one like 12, a very small text. And regular will work. Let's just say something like monthly service. So let's just assume that there is incomplete text there. Right? 3 stops like that. Alright, so we could hold both of them together. Add auto layout, just give the spacings between them like 4. That works. Hold this one together as well with this one. Oops. Let me select everything. I want to select everything together. Add auto layout, ensure that it is centralized. You could see me. I'm also using my alignment. The spacing between them could be something like 6, for example. We could add a fill around it. So if we add a fill around it, this text now will become white. So let's give it like full black. Alright, this one here should not be full black. Should be like F5, F5. No, F7, 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 F7. So that's gray there. Alright, so everything looks nice. So let's just give this one a padding of, let's say, like 12. Also 12 too. Then we could go ahead and also give it an edge of 8. Like I think it's 12 we've been using, so let's give it 12 too as well. And that works. That works. Let's add some spacing between. This spacing looks too close. All right, cool. So let's give it effects, right? That same platform elevation, that works. Then let us call this one let us call it alert, transaction notification, right? Transaction notification. All right, let's just give it a name. All right, so it looks nice actually. So we could actually add some other stuffs, but let's just leave it. Think this works. Oops. So let me Control X and look for it here, and under my hero image, trying to paste it somewhere. So transaction notification should work with probably this one. So I'll select this and this together. Just try to, oops, that's not what I want to do. Let me zoom in. Let me use my mouse to just use my arrow key to take it like this. Aha. Then now I can delete it. I can delete this other one. All right, perfect. So I have this one here. So what I would do now is I can still duplicate it, take it upward a bit, so we could have like 2 transaction notification. All right, cool. Then I'll delete the rectangle there. Then this one, I could easily just change this to something else. Let's say, let's make this, instead of medium, let's make it like semi-bold. Semi-bold would be better, make it a little bit thicker. So let's make this one something else. Let's call this one like deposit successful, something like that. Let us say deposit successful. All right, so so what should we type here? Right, let's do something like funding of wallets. Then let us put stuff like that. Okay, this works. So this looks cool. So let's see how it is. So it just gives us this notification. That's the notification that this person is saying, and that is why he's happy. Right. So let's not cover his face. Let's shift it a little bit. Aha. It makes more sense now. All right, this makes more sense. So of course, you know, these things is just for aesthetics. So you can always just look at it according to how it pleases your eyes. So okay, this makes sense. So now it just make it look like, okay, there's a notification coming out from this guy's phone, and everything looks cool, right? So we have this going, and I think this is nice actually, if you ask me. So the next thing I will need to do right now, you could see everything is coming out live. Now, you might be asking me, why did I use green? Now, green is always good to use to depict success. So when it comes to color, in design, we have like, you need to know what we call the contextual colors. So the contextual colors is what depicts emotion. For example, green is for success, red is for error or danger, yellow is for warning, then blue is for informations. So these are the other colors that you will know. So let me just put it here. Let me duplicate all of this since it's 4. Put it here. So apart from your primary color, you want to take note of this other one. So this one is red. So let me look for like red. It's not even giving me the kind of red. All right. So red is for danger. It's for error. Then we have green. Green, of course, is for success. And then we have yellow. Yellow, technically speaking, in most cases, like this, is for warning. Then last but not the least, we have something that looks like blue, right? So blue in most cases is for information. So let's have something like this, blue. All right, so these are the 4 colors that you might be working with. We'll call this one contextual colors. So you can have different shade Then this other one now is like shade for your primary color, right? So those are the things you also want to take note of while you're working with colors. But the most important thing is, under the principle of color, is number one, just use design all grayscale, give it a touch of your primary color. Your image selection tool should also have a touch of a primary color. So, and that is it. I could actually end this particular lesson here, not for us to make it really, really long, but let me just do one more thing before I end it. So I basically just searched on Google and got this particular mobile app design. So let me just add it as part of my design here. Right, it's not really like it's a mobile app itself, right? So let's just copy this one, Control X, come here. So we already have like a frame. Is this a frame? No. Okay, it's a group. Okay, this one. So we have a frame and the frame for our image. So let me Control V. Oops, Control Z. So I don't know why. Let me put it here. Control V. Oops. See, that's one thing about images. Here's that image again. I can't find my image. All right, this is the image. Let me drag it and go and put it somewhere here. Aha. So this is where I want to put it. So I want it to be probably like this. Right, so I don't need this other one, so I can delete it. So this one now, I could just like make it centralized. Then this frame here, I'll clip it so that it will not be showing something that is outside. So I was actually looking at something like this. Exactly. Then probably have an ATM card here. So let me quickly just design that one. So these are the things that you just basically design for aesthetics, right? And everything can be exported as an image. So let's say this is the ATM card. I would probably just give this like 290 thereabouts. 290 thereabouts, and the primary color, give it like a primary color, and let's say 290 divided by 2 as the height. That's 145. This works. So this will also help us display that our primary color as well. So you could see a touch of our primary color is also coming out again here, which is also good. So the next thing I want to do is, let's just make this design worth it, right? So this is I would actually prefer if this stuff is okay. Let me just Control G. If I Control G, it becomes a group. Then I would turn it to a frame. So this is my frame now. So if this is my frame, I have a rectangle in it. So I'm going to delete that rectangle. Then I would go back and define that same color again. What's that? My primary color. My primary color. All right. So I wanted it to be a frame, not a rectangle. So let's give it a border radius to this bit card, probably something like 20. Let's give border radius like 20. All right, cool. So we could just, since this image that we have these some circles here, so let's do something similar too. So just draw some ellipse shape, random, remove the fill, give it a stroke, and no, not effects, a stroke. All right, then the color of the stroke could be probably a lighter shade, something like this works. Just drop it. So I'm just trying to do something similar to this card that I'm seeing here. So I'll just duplicate it a couple of times, probably like 4 times. All right, something like this. Do that again, ensure that it's touching the edge. Alright, that's cool. Just select everything and group it, and just call this one's circles, right? All right. They're basically designed. I would love to like lock it, so I'll not be able to select it again. So that looks like this stuff here. So it looks cool. Then let's design something similar to, probably type a text here. Just call it like balance, right? Give it that same primary color, but a lighter shade, right? So you could see a lighter shade of the color, not white. Then give it like 14, and of course regular, and just drop it somewhere here. ensure that the spacing is like up to 20. 1 2 20. All right, cool. This looks nice. So let's add another text. We could actually duplicate this text. There's no need for me to actually duplicate this text, but this other one, make it full white, make it a little bit bigger, like 20, and let this be like a dollar sign here, and let's say the person have 200.04, right, as balance, right? So looks nice. Then I also want something like this, so I'll duplicate this. I'll just put some random numbers, so I'm just typing some random numbers. Oops, some random numbers. Alright, random numbers. Alright, cool. Let's make this one 4. So assuming this is probably like the ATM number, right? Okay, this, let me make it smaller. Let me make it smaller. So this is 12, this should be 12. Let me make this 12 too as well, so it to be smaller. Alright, cool. But this one, I want it to be like brighter, like white. Then have something similar too, so but this one should be like 05 20 25. All right, cool. So this could work more or less like the expiring date. Okay, let's not say 2025, let's say 2025. That's how it should be. This works too as well. See, 2020. All right, cool. So everything is working out fine. So let's see how it looks like. So it looks like this. So another thing we could do is, let's not make this one too colorful. Let's not make it too thick. So something like this, brighter than the balance but not full white. So just give it that. Okay, I think that's better. It's yet to update, yet to save and update. So but just mere looking at it like this, it looks like the card itself. So but let me see if I could actually bring this stuff to the top a bit. So if I bring this image to the top a bit, then I could actually take this card a little bit to the top too as well. So it looks cool. I don't know why it's not updating, so I could actually enjoy this my preview. But it looks cool nonetheless. So the next thing again that we want to do is, I would love to remove this one. Probably I will just add a simple notification to there. So probably something like this will work. Let's just copy this one. This is where we have that Ctrl V. Let's have this one probably somewhere here. Let's delete that. Oops. So I could just have it somewhere here. All right, around the send money. I think it works. This stuff is still yet to update, so I think this works too as well. So now you could see now that my primary color is there. All I just needed to do is have a touch of my primary color. So right now I'm not going to do anything. So I think the video is already long. So we can end it here. And if we end it here, you could see now that we have a pretty amazing design that is colorful, right? And I didn't use two color, just one color. So now let me repeat the principles again so you will not forget. Principle number 1 is design everything in the shade of gray. Principle number 2, just attach your touch of your primary color in prominent areas, right? Principle number 3, add your image selection to have a touch of your primary color too as well. So with these 3 principles, you have your color in your design good, and you'll be able to design beautiful design. Then other things you just need to know about color is the hue is our main color, addition of black becomes our shade, then addition of gray becomes what? Our tone, then addition of white becomes our tint. And we have 4 contextual colors to depict emotions. Red is for error, green is for success, yellow is always for warning, then blue is for information, right? So those are the things you need to know about colors. And for the color wheel as well, we've clearly explained that. So those are some of the few things you need to know about color. So thank you for watching this particular video learning about colors. See you guys in the next video where we'll be looking at some other amazing principles for UI designers. Peace out.